Start with the one piece. One inch in. And then 1 inch up from the bottom, just a better placement. Just a mark, you don't have to do a line. So that 1 inch mark is the bottom of the waist tape. I'm going straight up. Flipping away so it's nice and smooth. And this is similar to what we did with the skirt last week. And you can, if the proportions are right, you can actually do these two as one piece instead of two, so you don't have a waist seam if you wanted to do that truly 40s midriff kind of piece style. If you need to, clip around the bust a little bit so it'll lay nice and smooth. So just goal is to get it to lay just nice and smooth across the lower part of the body. At the side seam. And then again, whatever shape you want. It can be straight across, it can be shaped. I'm just going to do the traditional kind of 40s. It has the point to it. And notch at seam. .90-degree angle at the waist. Nice curve. I'm going to draw my side seam in, but I'm not going to do anything else with it. I'm not going to cut it off or add my seam allowance because it's the same thing. We have to do the normal side seam adjustment, so you don't have the rest of the side seam to get that all set yet. Since it's a point, it's not 90 degrees coming in center front. Just follow whatever the line is you drew in. Seam allowance at the bottom. And at the top. And then pinning it back on. Take a little bit off from the side seam if you want. Just make sure you leave at least an inch if you want to cut it down so it's you don't have as much fabric. This would be on the fold. And put it back on. And anything along that upper edge, again, pins as flat as possible so they don't interfere with the bodice portion. Then 1 inch in and 11 inches down, just like a normal bodice. So beginning's just like you would normally do. So bust point. And then just down to the top of your midriff section. We're going to bring everything down so there's no reason to pin your bust line going across. Normal neck. So this time, and usually with this, you could do pleats, you could do darts, but usually with the midriff it's gathers. So you've got that gather that's on your bust point. So you're just smoothing as you go along, top of the midriff section. And then you want to decide how far that area is that you want it to be gathered in. So pin over to where you want it to start from both directions. I usually try to center it so it's even on both sides of the princess line. That way it makes it a little bit easier if I divide it in half. I can take that right down to the princess line, so I've got kind of a center point to go off from too when gathering. And then you just kind of visualize what it's going to be like, ready to draw it out. So neck, and if you want to change the neck, you can change the neck on this. If you want to play around with different neck shapes. Armhole, as always. And then following your midriff over to this point. At that point, you want to do another notch, and make sure that you lift this up and transfer that same notch to your midriff underneath. And same thing here. And the corresponding notch at that point. And with this one, you want to mark where your princess line is, so you've just got another guide point. And then evenly kind of, doesn't have to be 100%, but just like we did with the neckline gathers, just so you can make a couple of little dots so you've got the right shape. Taking it off. 1/4 of an inch, 90-degree angle. Shoulder seam. Rest of my side seam, and I'll finish that in a minute. And then with the bottom, it's coming up to the point, so one time it's not going to be a 90-degree angle. And then with the gathering areas, it's just basically connect the dots. And it will, even though technically it should be fairly straight, it is going to dip down a little bit more, same thing, because you've got to compensate for the bust line. And then finish over to side seam. Seam allowance. And then same thing, don't have to try to go all the way across, you're just basically doing from side seam to notch. Because if you try to go, it's going to throw everything off balance and off grain. That gives you your nice straight line going up. And just like normal, 1 inch down, 1/2 inch out. Seam allowance. I'm just going to cut this now before anything moves on me at the bottom. So it stays nice and consistent. And then armhole is just like always. Seam allowance.
Now everything's easier. I remember the first day.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. If you think back to how long it took you to do the first bodice, and now it's like, oh yeah, you have that done in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. I know, like everything's kind of the same, like when you do it over and over.
It's always the same general rules apply, and then you just make the little alterations for each individual look. So. It's kind of nice to have that. It's kind of like this aha moment. Oh yeah, I remember how long that took me to do the first time.
And I was so scared, and like I don't want to, like I didn't want to touch anything. I thought it was like it was gonna come out wrong. I don't know.
And my neck.
Oh yeah. To cut it out, you're like, oh god.